Okay guys, the next thing I want to teach you how to do is called a tiger's eye. I have in the past called this the eye of the tiger head loop, which is just way too much of a mouthful, so I'm just shortening it. It's a tiger's eye now. There are two different ways to do this. You can either end it in right slam or in left slam. They both start out the same, they just end differently. You just got to do different things with your hands. So I'm going to show you both variations because one might help you better than the other. This is going to borrow from a couple techniques that I've already taught you in previous videos, so if you struggle with any of this, you might want to go back and watch those again and try to get more comfortable with those techniques. Those are going to be your small rainbows, your back scratchers, and then your front scoop, just the front half of the double scoop. Okay? So if you struggled with any of those, this might be hard for you, but at the same time, it might also help you understand those moves better. So I'd recommend that you try this one no matter what, and if you struggle, just go back and check out those other videos instead. All right, so what this whole thing is gonna look like is like this, or so it's going to do a bit of a rainbow over me, or it's going to do a bit of a back scratcher motion, and this is just sort of a special back scratcher, really. So the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to start in our right slam position, and we are going to bring both of our hands together just like in our small rainbow. Our left hand is going to join our right hand and slide up the pole, and they're going to meet. And I want you to hold this up above your head. I know in our small rainbow I taught you to keep these nice and low because that's how we use them in routines, but for this purpose, you're going to go straight up above your head, and both hands are on the tab. I would recommend that you keep your left hand pretty tight up against your right hand. Don't leave a gap in between them. You may even want to put one right on top of the other if you find you have better control that way. I personally like them stacked like this. I think this is the most comfortable, gives you the most control to do this loop. Now the loop up there is exactly the same as the one we do in the back scratcher. Just the loop that goes behind you in the back scratcher just has two hands on it, for one for added stability, and two because you're going to need that hand in a second, so it's useful to have it up there where it's going to be needed, so you're not doing some kind of goofy hand up, hand down motion. So just leave it on there. So it's going to slide up, and you're going to do your back scratcher loop, loop-de-loop, and that's the first half of it. Now the next two counts are going to go a little differently depending on how I want you to end it. So just get comfortable with these first two. So 1, 2. On count 3, we're going to do a variety of different things depending on what the choreography calls for, but for now, just bring it out in front of you. 3. So practice doing that. 1, 2, 3. All right above your head. Some people call these windmills when you do them with two hands. I don't like that because we do them in Eye of the Tiger a lot, and I think that's easier way to remember. It's just that they are in Eye of the Tiger, so I'm calling these tiger's eyes, and everybody who calls it a windmill can just be mad, die mad about it. Okay, from right slam, sliding together 1, scooping around, doing that loop, 2, and back out to the front, 3. Let me show you what that looks like from behind, if that should be helpful. So from right slam, slide up, down, and back up. Again, up, around, and up. This is one of those moves that's a little more difficult to do slowly than it is fast. The momentum of this is going to help carry that loop around behind you. So if you're having a hard time doing it really slow, try to go a little bit faster. You might have an easier time. All right, so from count 3, we can do a couple different things depending on how we end it. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've had you end it just right in front of you, 3. So the first variation I'm going to show you is the easier one. We're actually just going to do the second half of a rainbow, back, down. You're going to switch your hands for this, and your left hand's going to go to the tab. All right, so let me try and get a little closer so you can see, maybe if I like scrooge down. So up, if you can see my hands, we do our loop, get that out of the way, I do our loop, and my hands are still right how I had them. Now this left hand is going to come off the top of my other one, and it's going to take over at the tab. My right hand is going to sort of let go and just guide it down, just like when we do our small rainbow. If you don't remember what that is going to look like, just do the rainbow. Just do the rainbow for a second and remind yourself what that feels like. So come up. So rainbow up, do the loop, and now here we're just gonna rainbow down, rainbow down. That's the easier one. The one that's a little trickier is to transition it into a scoop, and this is going to be more useful for what we're gonna do in Eye of the Tiger. So we're gonna transition it into a scoop. So we're gonna come up, do our loop, and now from right here, instead of bringing the pole out in front of you, you're actually going to start sliding this left hand down the pole as it comes up and bring it behind you and tuck it behind your hip just like in a scoop. And then you're going to finish that scoop out in right slam. So remember in our scoops how we went corner, 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 corner? We're going to do that. We're just going to skip the first corner. So we're just going to go straight to the second corner and finish it out. We're going to do it a little faster because this is a 4-count move. So just be prepared to do that scoop a little bit faster than normal. All right, wind is blowing pretty bad today. So we're going to go 1, 2, now slide that hand, 3, and 4. And we're just gonna skip count 4 over here and just bring it straight over to slam. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just bring it back to slam on 4. All right, from behind, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for this variation, your hands don't have to switch positions. This left hand is going to slide up the pole, and then it's going to slide back down. So you don't have to worry about repositioning your hands. It is just a little awkward to come from here to here. That is the hardest part of it. Once you get that down, the rest of it is cake. Okay? We can also do this in the opposite hand, of course. So starting from left slam, it would look like this. Up, around, and down to right slam, or up, around, and down to left slam. So the main difference is going to be which hand does the moving on the second half of this move. So after you do your loop, if your left hand is moving again, it's going to come back to right slam. After the loop, if your right hand is moving, it's going to come down into right slam. Or left slam, I'm sorry. I'm all mixed up. I think that about covers our tiger's eyes. So if you have any questions about those, you can leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll see if I can help you. This is the very first move that we're going to do in Eye of the Tiger, so get comfortable with that, because the next thing coming up is that I'm going to teach you the first 16 counts of Eye of the Tiger. Woo!